Valorant teases a brand new agent, and Epic shuts down Fortnite in China. All that and more. My name's Ethos, and these are your top 5 stories for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Coming in at number 5, just in case you might have been concerned that Riot isn't doing well, don't be. As you probably suspected, things are doing just fine. At least if we're talking about player numbers across the company's library of games. This week, Riot Games' Twitter account announced that October boasted a grand total of 180 million players for the month. The tweet mentions helping Runeterra reach new heights, but it's important to remember that Runeterra is just the universe that the majority of Riot games take place in. This news is pretty timely as it coincides with Riot X Arcane, a cross-game, cross-platform, cross-world experience celebrating the launch of the upcoming animated series Arcane on Netflix on November the 6th, and all of Riot's properties in general. Basically, it's a pretty good time to be a Riot fan. Coming in at number 4, that sound you heard over the weekend was a million voices being silenced as if a great tragedy had occurred. No, Alderaan wasn't blown up by the Death Star, but something nearly as traumatic was transpiring on the internet. Roblox was offline. The trouble started on Thursday afternoon when Roblox CEO David Baszucki put it, "A core system in our infrastructure became overwhelmed, prompted by a subtle bug in our backend services communications while under heavy load." The net result was players couldn't log in until late Sunday night. Dave was quick to point out that the bug was not due to any peak in external traffic or any particular experience, thus absolving Chipotle of any blame for its Halloween promotion that its burrito joint was running inside of Roblox. Because of the difficulty in locating the bug, recovery took longer than any of them would have liked. The team will push for a more in-depth post-mortem at a later time. Fortunately, there was no loss of player data. Baszucki said that we will implement a policy to make our creator communities economically whole as a result of this outage. But the real question is, who will get our burritos? And coming in at story number 3, on November the 15th, Epic Games' Battle Royale Fortnite will no longer be available to players in China, what players it actually had at any rate. According to a report from VGR, the game never really took off in China the way that it did everywhere else, a result of there being stricter rules of what can be in the game, a lack of monetization, and the fact that other games kept a tight grip on the Battle Royale space. It also doesn't help that the game was effectively in testing for the last 2 years because the government never approved it. That said, the end result was that the game not only wasn't making money, but it actually was operating at a loss. That's not surprising, seeing as the game only had a free battle pass and apparently offered players automatic wins either when they hit the 20-minute mark or if they had a high elimination count, vastly shortening the amount of time players might spend in the game. The game also reportedly had no limited time or competitive game modes, meaning it wasn't likely to appeal for anyone who's looking for a challenge. And coming in at story number 2, as you can recall, Activision Blizzard is still under investigation by the state of California for serious harassment charges, so it doesn't come to anybody's surprise that Blizzard announced that they will not be hosting a BlizzCon online in February. According to the announcement, putting together the convention, even a virtual one, is an entire company effort, and at this time they feel that they'd be better off putting energy in other areas like supporting their teams and progressing development of their games and experiences. While they don't explicitly say it, it's very likely that the current legal issues plaguing the company aren't exactly conducive to getting employees on board with all the extra work that goes into creating a convention, especially since several of the actions requested by employees to address these issues have not been implemented yet. The post goes on to state that the company wants to take time to reimagine what a BlizzCon event would look like in the future. This is probably the case for a lot of companies who have discovered over the past year or so that virtual cons can work and provide extra accessibility for those who might otherwise not be able to attend. They do note that among their goals for the future BlizzCon events is that they want them to feel safe, welcoming, and inclusive. Finally, for all of you that may be concerned this might mean that there's no announcements, don't worry, Blizzard plans to make announcements about games and states that they have plenty of exciting news on the way. And finally, coming in at number 1, your biggest story of the week. Players anxiously awaiting for the reveal of the next Valorant agent need wait no longer. This past week, Riot Games introduced Chamber in a short trailer showing off some of his abilities, which appear to involve messing around with time or dimensions. Either way, the result is the same. He's one of those two places at once type of guys. He's also a sentinel for defense. Interestingly, it looks like players are going to have to wait just a little bit longer than usual to pick up this brand new agent. According to the post that was established last week, the new agent will not launch until patch 3.10, 2 weeks after the start of the brand new act. This may be a little bit disappointing, but the reason is sound enough. The agent isn't quite up to par, and the devs want to make sure they take extra time to make sure he's ready day one. So sometimes, it's always better to wait. And that moves us to your question of the week. With Chamber being revealed as the latest agent coming to Valorant and some of his abilities have also shown online, let me know in the comment section below if you're interested in playing him and do you think he's going to be a menace or underpowered. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And these are your top 5 stories for this week's Free to Play Weekly. Don't forget to check out mmobomb.com for giveaways and the latest news. My name's Ethos, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, everyone.